Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm a video editor and a motion graphics artist for Lee Harris. The latest music video project we've released is Timelines, the title track from the Timelines album from Lee Harris and Devor Bozique. In this video, I thought I'd give you a look at how I constructed some of the scenes in the Timelines music video. Kind of a behind-the-scenes look. First, I want to thank everyone who's watched and commented on the video. The reaction from everyone has been really heartwarming, and we're so glad you're enjoying the video and that it brings the message of the song to life for so many of you, so thank you. For this video, we had the amazing opportunity to work with Archie White, who is an incredibly talented dancer and also just happens to be Lee's nephew. He is a dancer with Rambert, the contemporary dance company based in London. And he has a beautiful and unique style of dance and way of moving, which we were excited to be able to incorporate into this video. So he shot his footage in London, and then Lee did a shoot in California of his performance. They sent me the footage, and I worked on it all here, where I live in Western France. Of course, Devor creates the music in Slovenia, so this is all a very international project. In the lyrics of the song, you have this idea of the timelines and lifetimes that our souls go through. So in thinking about how to show this idea of timelines visually, I wondered if rather than showing a timeline as something horizontal from like left to right, what if the timelines could be these different worlds that we move through, that we're immersed in? From a practical point of view, this meant working in 3 dimensions. So not just with the X and Y, or the horizontal and the vertical, but moving along the Z axis, which is moving toward or away from the viewer. There are a couple of really good examples of this kind of movement. In this music video from the White Stripes for Seven Nation Army, you have these triangle shapes and the subjects coming toward the viewer, which gives this feeling like we're moving through this space. Also, there's this beautiful video from Trevor Hall called My God. And here again, we have this feeling of flying through this world and really being immersed in it and surrounded by it. And the graphics, I think, in this are so beautiful, and I love the song. Trevor did a really wonderful interview with Lee for the Impact the World podcast. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll link it here. Also, I came across this video on Instagram of a dancer performing in front of a projection in one of these immersive exhibitions. In this case, it was an exhibition of Monet. And I wondered if we could incorporate that idea of being immersed in art or in a painting. So the first step was I did a test. I downloaded some footage from the Van Gogh Immersive Exhibition, and I composited it with video from Archie's Instagram. And I started to experiment with this movement in 3D space and that feeling of traveling through these different worlds. We worked as a team and brainstormed different ideas of what these worlds could be that Archie travels through, and how we could incorporate Lee's performance with that, given they were being shot on 2 sides of the Atlantic. Devor is super into painting. He's a painter himself. And so for a while, he was regularly emailing me paintings that he loved or was inspired by, which was wonderful to have all these works of art every day in my inbox on a regular basis. He also sent me some work from some Slovenian artists, which we were able to incorporate as a nod to his home country, which was nice. We were able to work with the curator from the Slovenian National Gallery to get high-res versions of these paintings, and we're given permission to use them. So that was fantastic to have that Slovenian connection. So once I had all the footage of Lee and Archie, then I could start piecing all the elements together and start creating the world that they would interact in. This is a photo of a beautiful garden in Iran called the Fin Garden. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Hopefully that's close to correct. So I used this as a background. I altered it a bit in Photoshop and added other elements such as this section from another building in Iran. These are two-dimensional images, so they're just flat. So to give them some dimension, I separate out sections of the photos, like this archway, and then move them apart from each other in 3D space. Then I can create a virtual camera, which I can move around. I can zoom in and out like a real camera. So now we've turned a two-dimensional image into a three-dimensional image. Then I can add in Lee. I have this footage that Patrick shot of him in the studio. Here he is dancing on a green screen. So I can remove the green screen using a chroma key and then place him in the scene. Now I can add Archie into the scene. There's a beautiful sequence of him dancing in this really expressive way, which I think looks really nice alongside Lee's dancing. So we'll put him in our scene. So now, along with the virtual camera, we can create virtual lights for our scene to make it look more natural and realistic. We'll use a spotlight, which will cast shadows and add dimension and some atmosphere. So now we have our scene with all its layers. We just need to plot the camera's movement. So we'll have it zooming in slightly from here to here. So we're zooming in on Lee. And here is the finished scene from the video. Many of the scenes in this video were created in a similar way, with multiple 2D layers in the 3D space. With many of the paintings, I separated some of the visual elements into layers so that Lee and Archie could become immersed in that world. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see another one where I explain a few of the other scenes, let me know in the comments below. Thank you again to everyone who has watched the video and left comments. I loved reading your comments, and it's so lovely to hear how the video is impacting people and the emotion that it brings up for some of you. It really motivates and inspires me to create more videos like this. Thank you for watching.